Wednesday, September 4th, 2019, 6:05 p.m. Calling the Lakeville Board of Health meeting to order. Is there anyone recording this other than the Lakeville Board of Health and Lake Cam? I see no one. First on the agenda, 113 Nelson Grove Road, Zenith Consulting Engineers to discuss local upgrade.
Good evening, everyone. For the record, Miles Zager from Zenith Consulting Engineers. This is, just before we get started, this is the notification to the homeowners association that are responsible for the work in Nelson's Grove. So this is just a notification saying that they were notified of the meeting and that they...
And it's the only effect of the butter?
That's for what we're doing.
What you're doing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no effect. There was really no effect to the butters other than just the crossing.
Crossing.
Yeah. So just to kind of give you guys an overview of what's going on here, we're going to be going in front of the ZBA. My client is looking to raise the existing house on the property and build a new one, as shown. In doing so, triggers a special permit with the Zoning Board of Appeals. And by doing so, we have to file with conservation because of the work with the Assawamsett Pond, as well as you. We've already gotten our notice order of conditions from conservation. Last week we went in front of them and they issued that. So all the work you see here, they've approved within 100 feet of the pond. This is kind of a different situation. There was a septic system that was approved back in 2004 and installed. And that existing septic system, that leaching field is proposed to remain. The only thing that we're recommending, and I believe that your agent's going to recommend, is that a Title V inspection be done just to confirm that it's that's working properly. What we have to do because of the size of the home and the setbacks, what we're doing is we're proposing that the existing tanks be replaced with new tanks to meet the setbacks. The setbacks from the home. So when we were able to do all that, we're able to get the 50 feet from the well. We're able to get the 10 feet from the property lines, what have you. The only thing that we are not able to do, as I'm sure you're aware, is we're not able to get the 400 feet from Assawamsett Pond. That was already granted in the original approval, so we didn't feel as though it was necessary to ask for again, especially with the fact that we're actually moving them a little bit further away from the pond than what was currently there. So the only reason why I believe that your agent, Mr. Bernardo, would ask us to come in front of you is because of the work within Nelson's Grove Road. What we're looking
and it was going before the ZBA.
And because it's going in front of the ZBA, exactly. So what we're looking to do is replace those tanks, run a new force main, 2-inch force main across Nelson's Grove Road, and just tie it into the existing system.
Okay. You don't have a detail on the tanks or anything, just for the T's. Are you doing new pumps? Do you have the pumps, Cal? Are you just going to use the same pumps?
I think because this house, the people that have owned it since then have barely used it. Basically has not been used. So this stuff is like brand new. Again, my take on it is that during construction, they're going to try to take those tanks and just relocate them. Again, I know that's easy on paper and not so much in construction, not so easy when you're out in the field, but that's
How old are the tanks?
They're about 15 years old.
It says replace it, that's why I proposed
It says remove these.
and remove, that's why it has to be clear. It has to be.
Okay, so I think what they're looking to do is to I always do that just in case, but I think the idea was to try to just to relocate them. So I can revise that if necessary, but that was the intent, was just to relocate them.
Because after 20, you got to change them no matter what, right?
And you're already at 15.
Yeah. So I mean, it's up to you. It's up if you guys would rather them be to be replaced. That's fine. I'm sure they wouldn't have a problem with it.
I'm almost thinking, I don't know what the other
I've never seen anybody move them without
move them. How are you
messing
going to do watertight in this test? You got to certify the watertight.
up. Yeah,
I
but not
mean,
that much money in the
If they're
whole
within
scope.
like 3 or 4 years, 5 years, maybe I could say.
Yeah.
But you're at 15, our regs are 20.
Yeah.
To be replaced.
I'm with you. I don't think that's not reasonable. It's going to be a brand new house there. They might as well have a septic that's going to last a while.
But under our regs, yes, you do need a Title V because it's a raise and rebuild.
Yes.
So that means you probably have to have the water tested for the Title V for the well. I don't know if that was part of the,
Yes.
if they've done that yet.
That I don't know. I don't,
Yeah.
they
When
may.
they do that, they'll have to do the water.
Exactly.
Title V requires the well.
They may end up, once they build this new home, they may end up having to redo the well anyway. I'm not sure. They're not sure about it. Right now, they're planning on utilizing the same one, but of course, they'd have to come in front of you again for, to re-drill, but that would be the intent, is to try to keep it for now.
And well, that plan says you put new tanks in, right?
Yeah, so we can just.
So let's
put-
just leave it.
Yeah.
And then you want to have a drawing, detail for the tanks?
Yeah, just the tanks, just so you know what T's are on it and all that type of stuff. So this
Okay.
should be in a single layer.
Okay. Yeah, this was just a plan for zoning board of appeals,
Yeah.
was the
You should
intent of it.
have The full detail of what they need for, and even the pumps should really be on this.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
though we were just moving it, if you're gonna, what the head pressure of the pump,
Okay.
buoyancy calcs, kind of probably should be on it. I don't know if they're going in deeper or how high this water is compared to that.
Yeah, we're proposing
uphill
each
or-
20 monolithic tank, so with 9 inches of cover, you've got your buoyancy,
I know,
so.
yeah.
We're assuming, when we do the buoyancy calcs, we assume that they're
Submerged.
fully submerged. So with the 9 inches of cover and each 20, we're good, so.
Is anybody here for this? No?
And he did say he's gonna, schedule
Leave it.
80, yeah.
No,
so you-
schedule 80, 2-inch.
Across the
They've got
road.
schedule 80.
Force main.
So I think, that, I don't even know if you necessarily need to sleeve it with a schedule
Yeah.
80, but it's up to you guys if you,
As long as you can schedule 80, I'm fine with it.
yeah.
The bedroom's the
almost
same?
Yeah, it's up,
That was when I
existing.
saw the
for-
proposed, I didn't see what the.
Yeah, it is a
Yeah.
4-bedroom, I looked at it, and,
Not increasing the flow.
Yeah, there's definitely an existing 4-bedroom home, that was, and it was designed for that back in the early 2000s, and that's what we're remaining.
And I'll make a motion, we approve allowing the applicant to move the tanks, providing he gives us the details on the pumps and
Title V.
in the Title V report.
And water test.
Well, that's part of Title V.
Right. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, 310 Kenneth Welch Drive. Board of Appeals petition for retail marijuana establishment.
You can, wanna stick around?
Yeah, I'm gonna sit right over here and I'll answer any questions anyone has.
Hello.
I'm Mike Patello. I'm representing Numero Associates.
And this is also for a ZBA.
Correct. Yep, we're on the September 19th CBA agenda.
If I understand properly, you guys are taking over a license that we've already given? Right, this was, what was the name of it?
So Nature's
Nature's
Remedy.
Yeah, this was
Remedy.
Nature's Remedy that we already did.
The, a part of the retail part, they didn't move forward with that.
Okay.
And then there's an open space still, and then this gentleman's here to explain.
When they, the petition, all the signatures to get that warrant article to get retail banned,
Yeah,
they pulled their retail part because they weren't sure and they wanted to keep going forward with the rest, so. this is-
okay.
So we did start the process from the beginning to get the retail space there. But yeah, I think Nature's Remedy was going down that path initially, and then they kind of backed off.
When they were doing the renovations, the place looks beautiful, I think you've seen it.
Yeah,
But then the
that's-
other side, they just
We
didn't
were
do
in there
anything.
last year, right?
Yeah.
That's the place that they did it all over?
Yep, and then
They haven't done nothing in
the
there
other
yet?
side, they haven't done nothing, just, it was, from my,
Is the first half open? The part we saw open?
They put plants on the ground about a month ago.
yeah, and then we're doing our inspection Tuesday, I think.
So you're gonna be in the same building, but you're two different entities.
Absolutely, yeah. In your packet, you should have
So you,
the floor plan. So everything that's kind of outlined in red.
so now do you have your own entrance going in, totally separate from theirs? See, and theirs is
We do.
medical? there's-
So at the bottom of the drawing is our employee entrance.
Okay.
And then in the front of the building, there's the customer entrance.
This is the full packet, but she gave you like a summary of it.
So are they not doing retail on their half anymore?
They're not.
No,
You're only medical.
So you're gonna be the only
They're
retail in that,
only cultivation and manufacturing.
yeah, the
There's no medical.
dispensary, the dispensary.
so you're gonna be the only retail in that building?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So employee entrance is here. And then right there is where the customers will come in. And we're thinking when it's busy, the customers will exit that way. If it's slower, they'll probably come in and exit the same way.
Okay, now where is their entrance?
You don't see it on the drawing.
Okay.
It'll be over here somewhere.
So they're totally separate from you? You use the
Absolutely.
same parking lot? The
No.
same turnaround? No.
So our
Totally.
customer parking will be, there's a big circular driveway in the or parking lot
That
on the
just
front.
was paved out front, right? I drove
It
by
was.
there. Okay,
Yep.
so that's
That
where you
was-
are.
So that'll be our customer parking.
Yeah.
Our employee parking will be
around
leasing
the
some
side.
spaces from cold storage up the street.
Okay.
But our only parking will be up front.
Okay. And then the other establishment is to the right of this one? Back of it,
So Nature's Remedy is essentially in the back.
in the back.
The other, there's offices on the second floor over here, and that's actually the cold storage, the
Okay.
corporate offices.
You guys just sales?
Yeah, retail sales. Yep.
And then we do have our packet of regs. I don't know if Kevin
Yeah,
had given.
we sent it to you.
Yep, I
You're
got that.
aware of them?
Printed that yesterday, I believe.
Now, I guess one of my questions was for security. I know it says you have to give us your security plan. Are you going to have a guard, someone IDing people at the door to get in here, like they do on the
Absolutely. So what the process will be is when someone enters into the building, they'll have to hand over their license, their ID. That gets scanned through a machine, right, for two purposes. One, to make sure that it's actually a valid license and they're over 21. And then it also keeps track of them for that day. Because we don't want people coming back the same day. Like if you go and you purchase your max amount, we don't want you coming back later in the day and purchasing more. Right?
Very
It
smart.
doesn't stop you from going to a different dispensary somewhere. But at least we know that you're not coming back into our dispensary.
Oh, there's a max amount of day that somebody can buy?
I believe it's
Is that
an
your
ounce.
rule or the state?
The states.
Okay.
But it's not monitored. It's only so we can monitor it
Yeah.
for our company
And
only.
maybe at some point they'll all be linked in. Like they, yeah.
It's possible,
It would be
yeah.
smart, yeah, but go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's anything's possible as far as
Yeah.
that goes. Right now, the state is just busy trying to get the licensing regulations done.
All right, so it looks like you go through a door into the vestibule, and that's where the security would be, and then...
Security would be in that office. In there, there'd actually be two people. The person checking your IDs would be one of our employees. In this corner here, there's going to be security personnel monitoring all the cameras. And then we'll have a rover security personnel out in the parking lot, walking around the building, basically roving the whole time.
Okay.
So while we're open, I think I'm not sure if it's 30 minutes or an hour before and after, security personnel will be on site. 24/7 camera coverage, intrusion alarms.
And do you know what you're looking for your hours of operation?
I was actually looking for it in here. I think we were thinking opening at 10 or 11 and closing around 8, roughly. Obviously
5
that's
days a week, 7 days a week?
7 days a week. I think the Sunday hours are somewhat modified from that. But
Okay.
What did we put?
It just says they have to notify us, and we
Yeah.
have to agree with the other boards.
So that would be on your
Hours.
application.
I'm sure it's in here somewhere.
Yeah,
I was
and
looking for it.
when
but I didn't see it.
when you get close and we send you that application, you'd have to just put the hours of operation.
Yeah.
And then if it was modified,
Yep.
you'd have to notify us so we know. Because our inspections, even though I'm gonna go through the same steps to get in, unannounced, but I wouldn't wanna go at a time that you're not open, yeah?
Oh, bet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
waste of gas, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Can you explain the scope of the operation and what you're selling to the board?
So essentially, we're the retail piece, right? So we're not manufacturing anything, we're not growing anything. There's no medical, products being sold there. So we're going to sell marijuana products. So that'll be the flower, it'll be tinctures, it'll be the vape pens, there'll be some edibles, as well as some of the pipes and containers, everything that goes along with that. So that's essentially what we're doing.
And all the product is packaged.
All the-
Nothing's unopened and nothing's touched with, so everything's sealed, I should say.
There will be some sampling, so you can smell, the different strains, but we're not going to have a jar that we open up and weigh out. Everything that we sell will be prepackaged, sealed.
So just odors, just sampling with smell, not edibles.
Yeah, nobody's gonna sample the edibles, if that's what you're asking.
Right, yeah, there's to be no.
Yeah, there's
So this
there's none
compared
of
to
that.
the other place.
Well, we have to
That one
ask.
we were worried about trash and composting, and we were worried about
Yeah.
the odor from the buildings and the
Well,
filters, and there's none of that for this, if you're
No,
just selling
no,
it.
this is
there's none
pretty
of that.
basic, but
Right.
it's just a good idea to
There's
get
no
them in
kitchen
to
involved.
Yeah,
explain the
no
scope.
cooking or smells.
There's
Yeah.
no-
One of the questions you would ask me is number of employees. We're gonna employ roughly 20 people. There'll probably be only 10 people there at a time. You know, because it's a retail operation, so we'll probably, have people coming and going, depending on the shifts.
And when it comes to the septic, we actually have a proposed plan where actually Niles and I have been working, reviewing it. And he's been going over it with me. He just has to make more, just to add a grease trap. But it's gonna be more than enough.
That's actually,
Yeah.
that plan
It's gonna
actually has
be
to be.
more than enough, oh, perfect, thank you.
Similar to when we talked
Yeah,
about this.
gallons per
when
day,
somebody was
so it's
here.
gonna cover his employees and,
Now, you're gonna have a public restroom in
No.
here? Or no, no public
No,
restroom?
just for
the employees
Just for
only?
the employees. Yep. And it'll be all the rooms in there are going to be key card access. All right. So when you go into the only way you get into the bathroom is through a key card. That the employees will have.
So to simplify it, what we already okayed, they broke off the sales part and not taking it on the other part of the building. And the scope of the whole building really isn't changing, it doesn't sound like to me.
No.
They're still gonna do their part, and they're gonna do the sales part of it.
correct, yeah, essentially.
Simple as that.
I don't
yeah.
have a problem with it.
Obviously, once we get closer to doing the build outs and all that stuff, you guys will come through for inspections and all that. But it's essentially a retail operation.
Is anyone here for this one?
This is pretty
Niles
standard,
is here.
since you're gonna be going to the Board of Appeals, we can send a letter drafting saying that we reviewed the regs with you, and same thing we've done with the other establishment.
And Norma, did they come back in front of us again? I believe they did once you actually go for your permit after the ZBA?
I could double check, I'm not,
So the state licensing process, there are multiple license approvals and inspections and all that. I wish I could tell you I know all of them, but obviously
it's not gonna be quick,
it's definitely not quick.
because Nature's Remedy
They were
just
forced
got
a year
theirs.
ago.
A year,
Yeah.
right? or
Yeah, it's over a year, yeah, it's unbelievable,
And
and
that
they
had
just
to
got
be
it.
about a year ago that we toured that.
Yeah.
And that place was done a year ago.
So they just got it, and we're actually doing the walkthrough again, the inspection, so.
When I toured their space, it was the week before Christmas. They actually had like a verbal approval to start doing stuff, but they never got the written approval. So they didn't get the written approval until I think the middle or end of June. Right, so that's how and that's
Cahan's
they were
opened last
like
week.
it
I
was
haven't seen
completely.
cars up there yet.
The what is?
At Cahan's, the old Cahan's, somebody told me that
Cahan's,
finally opened last week, but I haven't seen the car
44.
there yet. And I drive by it every day.
That's a Middleborough retail stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, right, to give you an example, once we drop our application in with the state, we don't hear anything from, like, they don't even look at it for 4 to 6 months. At least that's what it was a month and 2 months ago when we dropped the applications. When we looked recently, there are people that aren't hearing for 6 to 8 months. And that's just open the application, do you have everything complete? Then from that point, you get a provisional license, they do the architectural review, and there's probably a dozen steps and inspections in there. So it's easily, well, let me back up. Once they say that your application is complete, it's been averaging 199 days before you open. So you have 199 days plus 4 to 6 months. It's lengthy. So,
Yeah, but the zoning, to go to zoning, they just need a letter from us saying they've agreed,
Right.
they
At this point.
understand that they've
local
received a copy of all our regs, they agree to
Yeah,
them.
and they
they'll
explain the
have to be
process.
all
I'll
set
just do the
before.
same thing, yeah, they
Yeah.
gave us a
Right.
scope of their work,
We
the
don't have a
operation.
problem with it.
Yep.
They meet the requirements when it comes to the septic,
As long as,
detailed
meet all
plan,
the
right?
employee, the septic can hold the extra 20
Yeah.
employees. And going forward from here, we'll need your actual enhanced security plan.
Yeah, and I'll make sure I have everything in place.
Is that
How many
septic
cameras, the whole
set up
stuff and
for
that.
future too?
Yeah, so this is what was there before, and now can speak to it, and what's proposed now, they're gonna
I'm
actually
just
take
curious
care of
about
Nature's
once the
Remedy
whole
can.
building is. Can that handle the whole building if the whole building was filled
No,
out.
there's 2 septics there, aren't there?
There's actually,
Yeah,
there's
so-
actually 3 septic.
That's right.
So it says here, right
That
here.
was just for my own benefit.
So there's one out back here. They were gonna try to tie it in to here, but the problem is you get all the loading bays. To do that would be an absolute nightmare. So we left that. That's only being used for some of the. I think it's capable of 18 employees. That cold storage is gonna be using. There's an existing one up front here that's gonna be completely removed, and everything's gonna be retied in, and we're gonna be pumping it and doing a pressure dose step trench system out in the entrance over here. We tried doing. Kevin and I tried over here, but we found fill about 14 feet down. So it was just unsuitable, it wasn't gonna work. So this was really the best suited area. And then again, they have this other 5,000 GPD system here, pressure dose, that's now gonna be still being utilized by the rest of the building, C-Trade and some of cold storage, which is what's going there now. So this system's gonna be way oversized. It's already oversized, now it's gonna be way oversized. This is, the new system's only handling the new, the new flows, that's it.
So you're putting a brand new system in for this?
Just for this alone, just to keep everything separate. Yes, exactly.
So I don't know if we need to make a motion, but I'll make a motion that Kevin sends the zoning board a letter saying that, what I just said, that they've received our rigs, they've agreed to them, and we'll work with them going forward if it's approved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, sir.
Gentlemen, thank you. I'm sure we'll see each other hopefully soon.
Here's your packet
I
back.
doubt it, but good luck.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks, brother. Good, you send tomorrow?
I'll bring two more.
Didn't 24 County wanna,
Yeah. Next on the agenda, 24 County Streets.
they asked to have a continuance.
They have asked to continue that to the next meeting.
Actually, March.
Yeah, I'll make a motion, we continue it to the next meeting.
The permit will be ready tomorrow.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
They can use it
Aye.
on Monday.
Aye.
thanks.
Boys, so what are you here for?
I got nothing better to do.
Oh, I was trying to get to whatever you were on for. I hate having people hanging around, that's why I kept asking, like, what's going on?
Well,
Okay,
he threw me off. He said.
Well, you need a life worse than I do, man.
I know.
Yeah.
that's it on the new business, on the old business. Approved meeting minutes from August 21st, 2019, as typed. Bob Lucci was not present at that meeting. Chris?
I'm good.
Good? I'm good?
Make a motion to approve Board of Health meeting minutes from August 21st, 2019, as typed.
Second? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, I just want to bring up quick, I had texted Kevin the other day. I saw some of the surrounding towns that are having the problems now, use their reverse 911 system to send out a warning to the people about dusk to dawn.
This is about AAA?
I thought that was a good idea, that we should see if we can do that too.
Yeah. And I followed up with the both chiefs yesterday. We had a fire chief and a police chief. We had a little meeting in here. We talked about the reverse 911.
Yeah.
We actually have something in place called Code Red. So it's through the Plymouth County Sheriff's Department. The only problem with that is it actually went out last week, but it's only to people that have their numbers registered.
Yeah.
So I did like a little survey in town of people that live in the
Yeah, I
town
didn't
hall
get a
of
call.
who got the call, who didn't. So if your number's not listed, you didn't get it.
But I think ours goes through the schools though, because whenever they try to do an override, they blast everybody in
So
town.
yeah, so that's another way to do it.
Yeah.
But from speaking to our chief, he said all you have to do is go on their website and register for that Code Red, and your number will be listed. And what we're going to try to do is get that word out, because instead of doing another Code Red right now, we're only going to hit the same amount of people.
No, we should go to the school. We should have the
The
school
school, we're
do
just
it on
going to
their
get the
reverse
people that
911.
are the kids that are in the school department.
Yeah, but no, they keep people from years on their list.
So I can ask the school department.
They
as
keep
well.
them for years, because whenever they want an override or something, they hit everybody up. So,
So
but
did-
almost everybody I know in the school does one gets it. So we should send it out to the school.
Okay, I can definitely
And
ask.
this is for the town residents, to send out a call to the town residents in
Yes.
emergency?
So, and again, our chief said, if you sign up on his website to be registered, have your number listed, once they have that call, it'll go to you. It won't go to like cell phone numbers, unless you actually have your number listed. So,
But it's a list.
and when it came to like the emergency ones, like the reverse 911 or the serious ones, even though this was serious, but it would be done through, I think, the sheriff's department again. But they're looking for more like life-threatening emergencies when it came to like alerts such as that. So, but we did do it. We did it last week. Maureen, our Midtown administrator, had asked our fire chief to contact Plymouth County, and I'm not sure if any of you guys got it.
No.
Yeah.
haven't
I actually heard the
I haven't checked my
message.
messages.
I actually heard the message from here. It came in, but we actually, it records it, of course.
Yeah, but just try to get them to do it through the schools before the end of
I'm
the
gonna-
week.
I'm gonna
Now that
definitely
the
ask.
kids are back in school, so they know.
Put them on the list.
And I'll see if I could just put that same message that was on
Put the
there.
same message on it.
And obviously, the selectmen were on board
What's-
too, as far as
The message is continue
Doing it.
vigilance until.
Yeah, it said, it talked about,
Close dusk to dawn and all that.
just, and it did, and then it
So we
went
got a
to,
good for us, pretty much.
Yeah,
and then it talked about preventive measures.
yeah. Most of the towns are gonna revisit it October 1st and see if they got a frost yet, if they're gonna take the restrictions off.
The one good thing, I was looking up some epidemiology on mosquitoes. So they like 50 degrees to 80 degrees. 60 to 80 is their optimal. When it gets into the 50s, it doesn't kill them, but it shortens their life cycles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when it does get cooler, like we've had some cool nights,
it's 40.
it's at least they're not going to live as long, but the females can live up to 100 days. The males usually only live like a couple weeks.
And to talk about weather, they had a conference call from the state, and they said that right now they're going to hold off on any more additional spraying because when it reaches at 60 degrees around that, the mosquitoes typically are not flying. So that the way to do it is to hit them while they're flying, and you kill them that way. And since the weather's dropping, the temperature's dropping, it'd be just a waste to actually spray right now. So.
It's even colder.
I think that's all I got.
Anything else, Kevin? Under
We had our other opioid meeting today, and I was also again talking to both chiefs, and they gave me some good tidbits to go back to that meeting. But right now we're just coming up with some signs. We're actually going to have like these banners with almost like a QR scanner. Is that what it's called? QR scanner, where you can actually. We're going to develop the banner where when you hit that with your phone, it'll give you all the information. A lot of times people don't want to read all that. Like on a banner, it just wants to catch you with a message about opioid crisis, and then you can download the information if you want. So
Are they going to try to do something at the schools this year? Some sort of presentation?
that would be part of it because we're gonna come. Those banners that we have are just are mobile. They're lightweight.
Yeah.
You can put them pretty much anywhere. So
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.